Here we go. Like I said earlier today in our live Zoom session, if you were there, this one will be pretty short, kind of wrapping up sensation and perception. And then tomorrow we'll get into more like learning and conditioning. So wrap up pretty quick here today. Okay, so transduction is basically the fancy term for sensations, what we hear, see, smell, touch, whatever, are sensations becoming perception, right? So transduction, environmental energy, sensations, environmental energy into neural energy into perception, right? So you see something, you hear something, whether it's going through your, the cornea and retina and optic nerve, into the neural system, into boom, I perceive light, or it's you hear something, goes in, the cochlear system, and then, oh, it was a whistle. You know what I mean? Transduction is taking those sensations, putting them into neural activity, right? Transmitting that to the brain, and then the brain perceiving what that sense is. Okay, so hearing, as far as processing goes, hearing uses both bottom up and top down. Some of what we hear, we perceive based on previous experiences, and that's going to be kind of more top down processing. And other new sounds, for example, you might have to look around, try to find context clues. That'd be more bottom up processing. So vibrations, hearing, right? Vibrations happen in waves. Waves can be looked at in different levels of intensity, and you're looking at the length, the duration of a wave, the height, almost like the pitch of a wave, and the shape of waves. I mean, all of that matters into what the sound actually sounds like, right? Okay, frequency, that is the number of waves. Okay, so frequency, and it's measured in hertz, but frequency is the number of waves taking place in any given sound. That determines the pitch, right? The more frequent, the more waves, right? The higher the frequency, the higher the pitch. The lower the frequency, the lower the pitch, right? Amplitude would be, is going to be more the intensity, right, of the waves. So amplitude is what's going to give you basically the loudness, right? Whether it is a boom sound, right, or more of a quiet sound. So amplitude, the intensity, is going to create the loudness, and that's going to be measured in decibels. The anatomical process, biological process, the eardrum, the vibrations, the stirrup, cochlea, all that kind of stuff. We'll just kind of review that with the lecture slides, the big review Google slide that I shared with you guys. Won't do that so much here. Look at slide number 8 from the Unit 4 lecture. Okay, so I'll repeat that. Slide number 8 from the Unit 4 lecture, and then assignment on slide number 16 in the big review. So as of now, it's slide number 16. Again, that'll change later as I edit it. Slide 8 from Unit 4 and slide 16 from the big review. Okay, so vestibular system, that is awareness of where your head is in relation to the ground, right? So your vestibular sense, another way you could kind of think of that would be basically coordination, right? Being able to control your balance more or less. So if you have a very good sense of where your head is in relation to the ground, then you're pretty stable, you're pretty sturdy, you're pretty coordinated, right? But as you get spinning or flipping, right, kind of out of whack, and you lose sense of exactly where your head is related to the ground, you will lose some of that control, you will lose some of that coordination. So motion sickness, spinning, flipping, all that kind of stuff, that messes up your vestibular sense. Kinesthetic, anytime you see like kinesthetic or kinesiology, for example, it basically just means of the body. Okay, so your kinesthetic senses, that's your body awareness. Again, being able to do like an agility ladder, right? Certain things in volleyball, being able to throw in baseball, being able to kick, right? Not everybody looks like they kick as well as the other. Not everybody can hit a volleyball as well as, not everybody can defensive slide, right? So your kinesthetic ability, your body awareness, can play out in all kinds of different fashions. Sensation perception of the body parts, being able to move the body. Your kinesthetic awareness obviously works with the brain, works with all your senses. That's why some of us have great hand-eye coordination. Some of us have great foot-eye coordination. Some of us can lean back in a chair and have great balance. Some of us can't. So all of that, I mean, it's your kinesthetic awareness. Touch. So touch is all about receptors. You have receptors all across your body. Certain places are much more sensitive than others. Your taste buds, for example, fingertips, your toes. That's why even though, you might not really make really hard contact when you stub your toe, it still hurts like the dickens because you have so many receptors there, right? It could be the same thing with fingers and, being sensitive to heat, to cold. It's all about receptors. So these touch sensations relay these messages. These receptors relay these messages to the brain, and we perceive what we're touching. We can perceive hot and cold. Cutaneous receptors, again, skin sensations, fingers, lips, toes are all really sensitive. We can feel pressure. We can hot versus cold, pain versus discomfort. It's going to be subjective to the individual. So again, we have different, perceptions. Your perception of pain might be different than mine. Your perception of too hot might be different than mine. Okay, so again, pain, kind of both perception and sensation. You sense pain, right? You feel pain, and sometimes you sense it with your eyes, right? Sometimes pain, you sense it in your ear. Sometimes you sense it in touch. So pain is a sensation, but also, we perceive pain. How we perceive pain is different. It's unique. It's individual, right? So it can be both sensation and perception. Something that causes a lot of pain to me might not cause any pain to you, right? Something, I think I told the story when you guys were juniors. One of my friends in high school, his older brother stepped on a rake, like was running through someone's yard barefoot, stepped on an old school like iron rake and punctured his foot really bad, and didn't grab his foot, didn't lay down, didn't start screaming, didn't ask for help. He calmly walked home and showed his very bloody, punctured foot to his parents. I mean, he had a high pain tolerance, right? Whereas a lot of us, we wouldn't be like that. Some of us would look at that foot and boom, we're in pain, right? Some of us would not even have to look at it and just feel that initial puncture and we're in pain, right? It's all unique. I talked about today in the live session, the gate control theory. Again, this is a theory that the spinal cord has a gate that either allows pain signals to reach the brain or blocks pain signal, or somewhere in between. It might block all pain signals or might block most. The theory is that it's to protect us. It's to protect our brain, to protect our body, right? To keep us out of shock, maybe to put us in shock. But it's unique unto us, and it is there to protect us, right? That if the gate allows too much substance P, too much pain, perception to get to the brain, or sensation to get to the brain, then it might put us in too much agony, right? We might be too distraught. So it is there to protect us. Again, that is the gate control theory of pain. How much substance P it allows to pass, and how much substance P it blocks. So maybe we can manage that pain, right? Maybe we can keep our wits about us in that event. Taste, again, subjective to the individual. We talked about earlier, sometimes you taste with your eyes, sometimes you taste with your nose, and then sometimes you taste with your taste buds. You have taste receptors, hundreds all across your tongue. A lot of your taste is actually going to be from experience, right? So again, some of the taste can be basically more top-down processing, where you use some of your previous experiences, to see the whole picture first, right? So as that pizza is set down in front of you, you know what pizza tastes like. You already have this perception in your head of what that pizza is going to taste like. How hot it's going to be, the Italian seasoning, the tomato sauce, the cheese, the pepper. You already have kind of an idea of what it's going to taste like. A cheeseburger, you know what I mean? But if you're about to eat something you've never had before, whatever, maybe sushi for the first time, right? It's going to be more bottom up processing, where you're going to have to search for those small details on your own before you come to this conclusion of what sushi tastes like. It can be culture based. It can be memory based. Again, personal experience. Oh, sorry, with pain as well. Endorphins, right? Endorphins are the neurotransmitters that try to alleviate pain. So, you know, as you stub your toe, as you sprain an ankle, as you jam a finger, whatever it might be, you know, you're in pain. Boom, it hurts. Some of you guys might cry. Some of you guys might be holding the injured area and you're in a lot of pain. You're in a lot of agony. Well, it goes away, right? Your pain is relieved at some point, and you have your endorphins. Largely, you have your endorphins to thank for that. And the last thing I would say would be smell. Taste is the gustation system, and smell is the olfactory system. Again, you can get back into the Unit 4 notes and look at that. But smell, mucous membrane. They didn't talk a lot about smell. Psychology, I can't see it, mattering too much for your AP exam. But smell, it helps with taste. It's based on previous experiences. So your memory is going to play a role in being able to perceive what that smell is. Again, my mom's chili has a very distinct smell, right? So if I was to smell her chili, I would know that's my mom's chili. And when I smell my mom's chili, it probably takes me back to coming home from basketball games, chili in the winter, or maybe it reminds me of leftover chili dogs the next day, whatever it might be. But, smell, is directly tied to memory as well. All right, jot down some notes. Remember, get back to Unit 4 if you have any questions, if you want to look at some more stuff, or shoot me an email. All right, see you guys.